Yo, man, this is all a setup. It's a setup. I don't know why America hates black people and brown people so much. I I don't understand why America hates us so much. I I don't. I don't know why. Um, but but they do. And this is what's really messed up. With all the protests that's happening right now for George Floyd and other people, right? I like the fact that I see so many nationalities that that are protesting. I mean, I love that. I love that everybody is seeing the injustice because I think back, like even my parents was going through this. You man, they couldn't sit on the front of the bus like that. Growing up, nah. And we all see the videos of how the police use dogs and fire hoses on us back then, back in the black and white videos, right? So in the color videos, it's the same war that's happening, right? We see that. So I'm happy to see when I watch these protests. I'm not even speaking about the looters, the protesters, right? So many nationalities are getting together because they see what's happening, right? They see what's happening, and everybody's getting involved. And then I even got inspired because it's like all over the country and it's all over the world. In Iran, Australia, Berlin, Germany, UK. I mean, everywhere. Everywhere, there's a lot of people in Africa, in Nigeria, South Africa. I've seen a lot of countries getting involved, speaking George Floyd's name, Black Lives Matter, and they're tired of it. So what does that say? That says that the world knows what's happening, and in other lands we're going through the same problem, right? So I love seeing that all cultures getting together, protesting for one reason, for justice. And I bet everybody's going to say, yeah, I can see that. I agree with that, right? And but this is the problem that I have with it. All this protesting, we've been protesting for so many years, and then now everybody, now the whole world is getting involved, and everybody is protesting, right? Everybody's protesting across the world for the right reason when there is a global pandemic of this highly contagious virus that just burst out of nowhere, that we were warned it was going to be a second phase, right? So all these good people who are like-minded, who are getting together and standing up, now all of a sudden the news is so deliberate that even Washington is allowing a city, part of the city, to be overrun by people as maybe an experiment to inspire other places to see if they could do the same thing. So you got nationalities of all nationalities together, banding together for this right cause. So we're all out of the house when this second phase of the coronavirus is supposed to be unleashed or take place, right? So we all standing for the right reason, all coming together in peace. Man, it's a setup. It's a setup, right? Then what happens? June 10th, now you got this guy, I wrote over here, Rob Fuller in California. They killed him. And then the cops standing over there saying that it was a suicide. They hung him from a tree. June 10th, 2020, right? They hung him from a tree. And now the cops, like they always been doing, like what happened in Minnesota, when the body was hanging in that woman's backyard, the woman who was an organizer of Black Lives Matter in Minnesota about 2 years ago, right? A year, 2 years ago, right? They said that was a suicide. Just more reason to provoke people. So what's the next phase of this? Because we're all coming together, and now you have police officers saying, well, we're not being treated or judged fairly, So why don't we just go ahead and resign? Why don't we just go ahead and strike and just not work, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. Because you know what's going to happen. Because when they fall back, then we're going to be left on our own just so that they can feel appreciated. And this is the messed up thing. It's because that's a coward. That mind, that reason, that's a coward right there, man. That's a coward. Because check it. If you're a cop and you took an oath, right? You're not going to let anything happen. You're going to protect the citizens. You're going to protect the Constitution, right? Now, you got a job where you got to hold people accountable. You got to detain people so they could be held accountable. But yet, when your officers are, they go crazy and they're committing crimes and then now they're being held accountable, now your feelings are hurt. Because you didn't police yourself well enough. You didn't police yourself well enough if you're really not, if you're not gangsters or racist people, right? If you're really true to the code of conduct, then you did not police yourself well enough. Your IA did not conduct itself well enough to prevent this type of atrocity from happening, right? And then there would be confidence between the people and the police, but we know that's not the case. Now, you cops are being held accountable. And when you're being held accountable, now it's like, oh, wait a minute, well, why don't we just quit and show them how important we are? You see, that's the type of people that we're supposed to say, you have a hard job? You do it? Nah, man. Your job isn't hard. You kill people because you have immunity. To solve this police brutality, there's only one thing that needs to be done, man. The only thing that needs to be done is that you got to take the immunity away from the police officers. A cop, they know that if they kill somebody, the worst thing that's going to happen is that they'll get fired, they'll resign, they'll go to a different department, and the victim's family is going to get money. There's no personal accountability. If you want to change the conduct, then that means you got to bring consequences. And what needs to happen? Strip them from immunity and watch how many of them quit. They're going to say, I can't do my job. I'm scared to do my job because I feel I'm going to get in trouble. That's a coward. I don't care what rank they are, they're a coward. Because if you pull your gun out, you should know that that's what you have to do. You should know that's exactly what you have to do. But instead, now if there's some consequences, now you're scared. Oh, now we see who you really are. So why do you got a badge? Why you got a badge? Why are you supposed to get respect? Because anybody can shoot somebody if there's no consequences. That's how the lynch mob was working back in my dad's day. And you guys are still doing it. But if you get some consequences every time for your actions, then I could see your skirt. So you got to get rid of the immunity. Have some sort of stipulations to where if they do shoot somebody and it's justified, then they got to be on death duty for a year and be on probation. Because because people go hunting. People love to hunt. If a cop is on a job and he shoots somebody, that's going to be a thrill. You don't want that to grow inside of, you want the humanity to stay. So if a cop does kill somebody, they got to be on death duty for like a year if it's justified. And if it's not justified and the person doesn't die, they need to be in jail for like 5 years, right? Even though if the person didn't die, right? If the person did die, and if it was malicious, give them life. But there should be some sort of court system with the immunity, not just a blanket, not just like, oh, we killed somebody and the family gets money, man. But that's not going to happen, right? We got to vote for that to happen. And the thing is, like, right now, for the world giving this so much attention during this COVID, I don't know, man. Maybe the end game, you know? I don't know. Man, we got to protect each other because, the government is not going to protect us. They never have. I don't know why America hates us. I really don't understand why the hell America hates us. And then you got so many good people, good-hearted people that are now on the side. They're on the side of justice. So then they merge. All nationalities, they merge when this damn second phase of COVID is supposed to happen, right? So what are we supposed to think? So you can't let your emotions, you can't think with your emotions, man. Just keep buying your guns and your protective gear, and look out for each other, and expect the Rob Fuller, right? How come Google? Because everywhere you go, they're gonna you could go to Google Maps to see where you've been for like the past week, right? So why don't they automatically already, like they should have done in Minnesota a couple of years ago, see how many people have been, when the guy was found hanging in the tree, right? Contact Google, contact Apple, whoever does the GPS, all those different cell phone networks, right? And find out who pinged in that location in a certain amount of time within some sort of bracket. He was found at 3 a.m. So go from, I don't know, from midnight to 3 a.m. And then that will be a starting point to see who was in the area when this dude was who was killed, right? Because how do you call it? He if he was going to commit suicide, nobody saw him hang himself, so he had to be there by himself. But if there was anybody there, if there was any other pings in that area, right, then that would be a starting point, because they would know, like, okay, there's something funny up, which we all know that it is. So, I mean, what else? I don't even know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. We will call animals, but we're not hanging people from trees. And then it's so bad that that a lot of these white supremacist groups, they're not even classified as terrorists. They called those guys with the Antifa, they're labeled terrorists, even though there's a history of bombing and church burning. Look, man, I'm telling you right now that they're out to kill us, they're out to get us. They don't care about our kids, they don't care about our families. If they don't care, and that's not everybody, right? So there's a lot of people who are protesting and real peaceful, and I love you, and I feel you, but you need a wake-up call. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill us all. Okay? You could march all you want, but honestly, I mean, you're marching because you want justice and you want it to be a peaceful protest because you saw a video. Well, if the mayor's seen the video, he should be moved the way that we're all moved. So there should not be a need for a protest. Right? So I don't know if the protests are really working, or if it's that there's so much damage that's being done by these idiots. But then on the other hand, maybe that damage is putting pressure on the government to pay attention, because these businesses who pay taxes are calling the mayor's office like, listen, we pay taxes, and we pay more taxes than an average citizen, and we're bringing income into your district, and you repay us with letting our businesses be burnt down. Maybe that's where the pressure's coming from. I don't know. I'm not a mayor. I'm just trying to be practical here. And I'm just saying that I see you guys marching, not in a militant, fashion, not with AR-15s, not saying black power, kill white people or anybody. You're not doing that. You want justice. You want something that's fair. And they're trying to kill you. You were treated with tear gas, rubber bullets, and violence and billy clubs, right? You go there peacefully, and then they come and they beat you. Back in the day, they put the dog and they put the water hose. Nothing has changed. And I know you want to be peaceful because we're a peaceful, loving people with crazy rhythm, mad flavor. That's what we are. And for some reason, we hate it. I don't know. I don't know. Outside of that, stop listening to Candace Owens because she is you know exactly what she is, right? But listen to Killer Mike. All right.